We talked about the fact that with side-side angle, if you're given two sides and an angle like this, there can be two solutions. And we said that whenever the side opposite the angle they give you is smaller than the other side, when A is less than B, there are two possible solutions. On this front page, this really captures what we're talking about here. So the first triangle that's possible with that is this triangle right here, this smaller one, okay? And the reason why there's two possibilities when little a is smaller than little b, when this side that's opposite the angle they give you is smaller than this, is because you can actually swivel this side over, okay, to make an even bigger triangle. Okay, notice that these are the same side length. All you've done is swivel it over to form a new bigger triangle. These are still the same, this is still the same angle measure, this is still the same side length. You've just swiveled this one side over. Okay, so that's why it has two solutions, and we're going to tackle that today and solve for both possible triangles, because there are, you could either get this triangle back or you could get this one, this big one back. Right? So here we go. Whenever little a is smaller than little b, there will be two solutions, okay? Two possibilities. Now, because there's two possibilities, and a lot of times the question will be worded in a sentence. So a triangle has the following measurements: big A is equal to 20.5, little a is equal to 12, and little b is equal to 31. Okay, so this will be 12 will be opposite 20.5, and little b will be the other side. Determine all measurements of the triangle. So this will have two solutions. A is less than b. Little a is less than little b. That means you have to draw two triangles, basically. Okay, so your first triangle is going to be a skinny one like this. Okay, and your second one will be when you swivel this side out. Okay, and make it cut out this way. Notice these have the same side length, but make it cut out this way. Notice that will change your B, right? So if I dealt with the smaller triangle, my big B would be opposite here. But now that I've swiveled this out, big B is over here. So step one is to draw and label the first triangle where this side goes outward. Okay? And then, the next one, you can just swivel this side in to make a skinnier triangle. So here's little a, 12, opposite my 20.5. Here's little b, 31, so this is big B. And your other two sides, this angle at the top is going to be big C. Notice when I swivel my triangle in for the second time, big C will be much smaller, and then my little c will be down here. But for now, it's right here. Little c is all the way at the bottom. Now we're going to write out the law of sines. So it's A over sine of A equals B over sine of B equals C, little c, over sine of C, big C. Now the question is, what do we know here that we can solve for? We know little a, we know big A, and we know little b. So you can see that we will be solving for sine of big B. All right, so we're going to have 12 over 20.5, sine of 20.5. Equals, okay, so again, that's A over sine of big A equals B, 31 over sine of big B. Okay, so basically now we need to get B by itself. So we're going to solve for that. We are going to cross multiply these. So it's going to be 12 sine of B equals 31 sine of 20.5. Make sure I'm copying these over right. Okay, so now we need to divide by 12. We get sine of big B equals 31 sine of 20.5 over 12. And if you remember, the last step is to take the inverse of both sides. I'm kind of out of space here, so I'm just going to write sine inverse of, let's see if I can get this right here, the entire thing. That will cancel the sine on the left, and I'll just be left with b equals sine inverse of all of that. I'm just going to write it as 3/12, 31/12, sorry, 31/12 sine of 20.5. Like that. All right, now the thing is, let's see if I can move this over so we can see everything. The thing is, this does have two possible answers. So we have to be aware of that when we're plugging this in, that this is going to have two possible answers. So let's go to the calculator, plug this in, see what we get for B. And you want to keep in mind this diagram, right? Because we talked about the fact that big B can change depending on how we swivel this side. Let's go to the calculator then and plug this in. Okay, so I've plugged this into my calculator, and here's what it looks like plugging it in. Make sure it's in degrees, and I got 64.783. 64.783. Now remember, this is only one possibility for B, and we're going to talk about why. This is going to give me this big B. This over here, when I swivel my A to make it a second possible skinny triangle, you can see the big B is going to grow. Now the question is, how much is it going to grow from our 64? Well, it's actually going to be 90 degrees bigger. And, or no, actually it will not be 90 degrees bigger, but it will have to do with that 90-degree angle on the unit circle and symmetry. Okay, so we'll talk about that in a second. After we solve for our first triangle, we will talk about how we can figure out what this angle is. So now that we solve for our first big B in our first triangle, 64.783, we can go ahead and solve the first triangle. So what else do we have to solve for? Well, now that we know this angle, okay, we just need to figure out big C and little c. We have to solve for big C first. We can use properties of the triangle that add up to 180. So we know 20.5 plus B plus C equals 180. So ultimately we will have A plus B plus C equals 180. So we will end up with 85.283 plus C equals 180. Then we just subtract 85.283 on both sides. And we get C is equal to 94. Let me make sure I get this right, 717 degrees. Now here's our first big C. Remember, we're going to have two solutions for this one. I want to show you a little trick on the calculator we use. You can assign this big C to be equal to all this. That way it won't round. Okay. So in the future, when I solve for little c, for example, I can just plug in big C, and it's got all this stuff stored, so it will not round. Okay, so to solve for little c now, this side at the bottom of our triangle, we're going to use A over sine of A equals little c over sine of big C. Going back to our work here, we know everything except for little c, right? We know little a, and big C. So, notice that remember in my calculator I stored this big C, so I can just type in big C in the calculator. In order to get little c by itself, all we have to do is multiply both sides by sine of big C. It will cancel that on the right, and you just be left with little c equals all of this. So this is exactly what we're going to plug into the calculator. Okay, so again, we stored big C up here. We know it's 94.717 rounded, but we want to store it so that our answer for little c is accurate, and this is what we get. 12 times sine of big C over sine of 20.5, 34.149, rounded to 3 decimal places. So now that we've solved everything for our first possible triangle, we're just going to go back and label everything. Okay, so here's our triangle labeled. We have all three sides plus the two angles. They add up to 180, of course. And does everything make sense? Well, yes, it does. This side right here is going to be a little bit bigger than this one, and much bigger than this one, right? It's only 12. It is important to note that this is not drawn to scale. That's okay. You don't have to draw it to scale. Just know that this is the first triangle's possible solution. The next one we're now going to deal with is when we swivel this A side back over, keeping our big A angle and our little b the same. So we'll be solving for this little skinny triangle now, seeing what we get. So here's our skinny triangle where we swivel the side back over. Okay, so we are no longer really concerned with all that. Now notice, we can use a little bit of math here to figure out what this new big B is. Okay, remember I said it has to do with the unit circle as well, and some symmetry over the 90 degrees, the y-axis. Remember, sine is the same in the first and second quadrant when the angles are equidistant from the y-axis. For example, sine of 60 is the same as sine of 120. Sine of 45 is the same as sine of 135. So we can do that, or we can do this right here. Since this is an isosceles triangle, these two angles should be the same, right? Which means this angle will be 180 minus that. Okay? So it also kind of, like I said, that's the same thing as the symmetry over the y-axis. If you do 180 minus 45, you get 135, which is the same for sine. Sine of 45 is the same as 135. In fact, I'm talking so much, I might as well just tell you what I'm talking about. So on the unit circle, sine of 45, right, is going to have the same y value as sine of 135. Same exact y value, and that's because if you do 180 minus 135, you will get 45. So what that means is we can just do 180 minus our first b value to get our second possible b value. So here's step 7, which is to draw and label the second triangle. Now let's see what we're going to do next. Solve for the second b value, subtract the first b value from 180. Okay, so our second b value, you could call it b2 if you want. I'm just going to call it b because I know it's my second one. It'll be 180 minus our first b value, which was 64.783. Right. All right, and we get 115.217. So that was easy, right? Now that we know big A and big B, and that makes sense. So it's going to be bigger than 90 because we've swiveled that side back over. Now that we figured out big B, we can easily figure out big C. It's going to be 180 minus those two things. Right? All right, now we're just going to solve for the second triangle. So we're going to have A plus B plus C equals 180. We are solving for C. All right, so let's see here. We got 20.5 plus B, which we just figured out was 115.217, plus C equals 180. Okay, so I'm just going to subtract this, move it over to the other side from 180, both of these, and we'll see what we get for C. All right, and for big C, then we now get 44.283. Now again, does this make sense? Well, the answer is yes. You know, big C is now going to be much smaller than it was before because we've swiveled that side over. Now we just have to solve for little c, which now is going to be much smaller than it was before. It's going to be just this little side right here. We can use the law of sines to accomplish that. Okay, so just like before, we're going to use a over sine of a. We're going to solve for our second c. We can call it c2 if you want. That's what I did in my calculator. Notice our new c angle is different now for our second triangle. So when we plug that into the calculator, it was 44.283. However, I did store all that information, so I did not round at all. And I'm going to show you how I did that in my calculator. So to get little c by itself, just multiply both sides by sine of your new big angle c. So it would be 12 sine of c over sine of 20.5. That will give you little c. So what I did was I went through here and I made sure that I labeled my second angle C2, which was 44.283. And I got that from my B2 angle, which I got from 180, minus 20.5 minus my first angle. So 64.783 was my first B angle. My second B angle I figured out by 180 minus that and stored that, and I stored my second C angle. That way when I plug it into the calculator, I get a nice 23.924, and I can round that just for my final answer. 23.924. And again, that's actually little c. Now the question is, does all of this make sense? Well, we're going to label our final triangle and make sure that it does. All right, here's our final step 10 to draw and label the second triangle completed. Now, does this make sense? Now, we know we didn't draw this triangle to scale, so let's check and make sure everything we labeled is correct, however, as far as the order. So what you want to do is start with your smallest angle on your new triangle, 20.5, okay? We can see that opposite the smallest angle should be the smallest side, 12, which is true. 12 is the smaller of these three. Let's go to the next biggest angle. 44.283 is our new C, big C. If we go opposite that, that would give us the second biggest side, 23.924. And if we go to our biggest angle, I just didn't mean to move that. We go to our biggest angle, B, which is 115.217. Opposite that is our biggest side. So even though it's not to scale, it is correct. We plugged in everything correctly into our calculator. So this is one possible solution for our triangle, one possible measure of these three sides and these three angles. And then the other one that we found is this one. So when you have side-side angle and the little a, okay, is smaller than little b, you end up with two possible solutions, which is exactly what we've drawn here. Both solutions are equally valid. Just depends on how you swivel this side. That's it for law of sines, side-side angle, two solutions. If you have any other questions about this, let me know.